What's going on, guys? So I'm finally back with a new video. I know it's been a while, but there really hasn't been a whole lot of figures dropping that I've been interested in. I've picked up a few, but nothing really worthy of a video in my opinion. Today we're going to be looking at Flint and Lady Jaye. Like I said, things have been moving kind of slow with figures. Hopefully it picks up in June. There's a lot set to release in June, so as long as the schedule stays the way that it's supposed to, we should have a lot of figures on the way. So let's go ahead and get started with Flint and Lady Jaye. Okay guys, so we have number 25 and number 26 in the G.I. Joe Classified series. We have Lady Jaye and Flint. And if you're wondering, I did order these on eBay. And these are two figures I've really been looking forward to because Flint, like I mentioned in a previous video, is one of my favorite Joes of all time, along with Beachhead and Snake Eyes, of course. Lady Jaye is a figure that I never had growing up as a kid when I was collecting the original line. So I'm happy to finally have a Lady Jaye figure. The boxes have nice artwork on them. Lady Jaye looks to have a ton of accessories. Flint has a few and some reused parts. So let's go ahead, without further ado, get them out of the box and take a closer look. Alright guys, so as you can see, Lady Jaye comes with quite a few accessories. She has the 2 javelins and a few different tips, like 2 spear tips and another one that maybe it's a grappling hook, not really sure. And also a little gun that she can shoot the javelins from. She also comes with a backpack with what's basically a GoPro attached to it. And I'll show it in a minute, but her hair actually comes off. And the hat piece there has hair on it. So basically you can swap between her with the hat or without the hat. Okay, so we have Lady Jaye all kitted up. And one thing I really like about this figure already is the fact that you can store all of her accessories on her. Her backpack has an opening on the back side where the peg is, so that you can store the 2 tips for her javelin. And I'm calling it a javelin. You guys can call it a spear, harpoon, whatever. But I refer to it as a javelin. The backpack also allows you to store an extra javelin. And as you can see, I have the grappling hook tip attached. The camera is actually articulated, so you can move it around and get different positions for it. And as you can see, she's holding the gun with one of the javelins installed. And she also has the spearhead tip on it. She also includes a knife, which goes into a sheath on her belt. The belt does float, so you can move it around and adjust it as you see fit. The actual face, I wasn't really all that impressed when I first saw images of it. But when you get it in hand, it actually looks really good. I don't know what it is that makes it so different, but in hand, it just looks a lot better for some reason. Now, in terms of articulation, she does have double jointed knees. She also has double jointed elbows, and they're pinless. So she gets a wide range of motion in it. I wish the Baroness had this type of articulation, but hopefully they'll release another version of Baroness that has this double jointed elbow, because it really is helpful when you're trying to get different poses. All in all, I'm actually really impressed with Lady Jaye. I think she's one of the better figures in the line, to be honest with you. They nailed the articulation. She has plenty of accessories. I like the innovation that they used with the hat and hair being one piece so that you can just swap it out versus having to try to jam some hat on top of the existing hair and it looking kind of weird. So I think overall they did an excellent job. And that's pretty impressive because I wasn't really expecting much out of this figure, to be honest with you. The pictures I don't think do it justice. She's a really good figure. The greens really pop, and she has the darker shades of green on her thighs, swiveling at the hips. She also has boot swivel. Get a good range of motion out of the ankles. So there's really not much bad that I can say. The only one gripe that I have really is just the upper piece of her chest is painted. So it's supposed to be a skin tone. And from a distance it looks okay, but when you get up close it looks kind of weird because it doesn't necessarily match the tone of her face. But, you know, like I said, you have to kind of be pretty close up to notice that. Outside of that, I don't have any complaints. So let's take a look at Flint. Alright guys, so here we have Flint. And Flint, like I mentioned, does come with his beret, which fits on his head, which I'll show in a moment. He also comes with the shotgun and the pistol. So he's kind of light on accessories. He doesn't have a backpack or anything. But I don't think that the original Flint had a backpack, if I remember correctly. And also the original Flint his beret was not removable. The only other accessory I really would have wanted him to include would be maybe an assault rifle or something, but the shotgun is unique and it's actually articulated, which I'll show in a moment. So let's go ahead and get him out of the rest of the packaging and take a close-up look. All right, so here's Flint out of the packaging. And one thing that, again, that I like is that you can store his accessories on him. The shotgun, you can either have him hold it or put it into the holster on his back. The pistol actually has a holster that's attached to his right leg, so you can put that in there. So again, plus points for them allowing all the accessories to be stored. The beret fits really well on top of his head. No complaints there. It's not going to fall off. It's not loose at all. It's kind of the perfect fit. Flint is another character that we're getting that includes a vest. And I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but these vests, while they look nice, they really limit articulation. You don't get any ab crunch out of the figures because of these vests. It would be nice if they start making them so that they're easily removable, so that way we have options, but as it stands, it's pretty, but it's not really functional from the standpoint of it's limiting the articulation in the abdomen. He does have boot swivel, ankles move nicely, drop down hips is something that you see on a lot of G.I. Joe figures, maybe all of them. I'm not really sure how I feel about the drop down hips. I do like that they give you extended range of motion, but they're also kind of a little wonky for me when I try to pull them down and then push them back up. It just seems like they shift. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like on Mafex figures and SH Figure Arts, I think, that have the drop down legs, it seems to work a lot more smoothly. This is something new that Hasbro's doing, so maybe they'll get it fine-tuned a little bit going forward. It's workable, but I think it could be a little bit better, and that goes for Lady Jaye as well. Flint reuses a lot of the parts from Duke, and like Duke, his left shin guard is kind of twisted a bit to the side. When I first saw it on Duke like that, I thought, you know, maybe it was a defect or something. But in looking at some of the live streams that the Hasbro team does, I think that's probably intentional, because just like with Firefly, they had his face mask a bit distorted so that everything isn't, you know, perfect on them. I think, though, the fact that they reuse this, it's kind of weird to have him and Duke with, you know, the shin guard shifted the same direction. So I think they could, you know, if they're going to reuse the parts, cool, but I wish they would have at least kind of adjusted the shin guard so it doesn't look exactly like Duke. But the paint deco and everything looks really good. As I mentioned, Flint was always one of my favorite characters, and I like what they did here with the shotgun, where as you can see it's open, so you can have him pose like he's loading a shell into the shotgun. And that's pretty cool. As far as the face sculpt goes, it looks really good. He has a scar over his left eye that kind of runs from the top to the bottom of his eye. So, no complaints there. He has the communicator thing on his little harness. I like what they did with the camouflage. That's similar to what I wanted to see on Beachhead. Of course, different colors, but hopefully we get a Beachhead with the camo pants. So, all in all, Flint, I think they nailed it. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of reused parts, but we're going to see that. You know, I mean, every line that Hasbro makes, they do that. All right, guys, so that was Flint and Lady Jaye. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are these two that you're looking forward to picking up? Are you going to pass on them? Let me know what you think. All in all, I think they did a really good job with these two characters. Lady Jaye, like I mentioned, is kind of surprising to me because I didn't think I was going to like her as much as I do. Flint, you know, hey, it's reused parts, but we're going to have to get used to that. Hopefully, some of the new characters have new molds. Like, I'm really curious to see what they do with Major Blood. And the next figure that I'm really looking forward to, which they haven't showed or even announced yet, is Storm Shadow. Hopefully we get a good version of Storm Shadow. You know, I like the Amazon exclusive one, but I want one closer to the original Storm Shadow. I did see the movie line releases that they're coming out with. Scarlet looks really good. Snake Eyes looks decent. I don't know that we really need another Snake Eyes at this point, but again, this is for the movie line. So I've seen a lot of people complaining and saying they're not going to get it. It's movie line figures. They don't like it, or, you know, whatever. I'll probably end up getting them all just to review them, and because I actually like the way that some of them look. Some of them are kind of like, you know, like Storm Shadow. I don't know what's up with the tannish color on his uniform. I'm not really digging that. But we'll see when they come out and I get it in hand to be able to take a closer look at them. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for your support, and I'll see you on the next video.